I would argue that the main reason people choose to learn a second language is to communicate in foreign countries or with people from different backgrounds. As such, they tend to choose languages that are widely spoken or have a large number of speakers. Languages like Spanish, French, Arabic, Mandarin Chinese, and of course English, the global lingua franca. Naturally, people prioritise languages that are useful for travel or work. It would be unusual for someone to study a language spoken only by a small number of tribes in Namibia, for example, as it would have little practical use outside of those specific regions. And that brings me to the topic of this video: government-funded language education in Australia. More specifically, the government endorsing languages that have minimal practical use, or focusing on foreign languages instead of improving migrants' English. Thanks to viewers for highlighting some of these examples. For example, Labor MP Tim Watts, Assistant Minister for Foreign Affairs, recently shared a post as part of Labor's Keeping Culture Alive program. In it, they promised more funding to help kids learn their grandparents' language, more support for children to learn the language of their parents and grandparents in our community in Melbourne's West. My first thought is, shouldn't the parents be responsible for that? What's that got to do with the government, and why should taxpayers be paying for it? Specifically, they promise funding to the Newport Islamic Society, the Tigrian Community Association, and the Western Chinese Language School. I didn't even know what Tigrian was, so I looked it up. Apparently, it's a language spoken in northern Ethiopia. From the comments, it's clear what people's thoughts are on this. Shame they're not more interested in teaching children basic English and maths. Family responsibility, not government or taxpayers. Wasting more taxpayers' money. When will my cheaper electricity bill start coming in? Good question. Labor MP Dr. Karina Garland also weighed in, posting something similar recently on her Facebook page. She announced $25 million in funding to support 84 languages, emphasising the need for social inclusion by helping young Australians learn or maintain a language other than English. Interestingly, the ABC published an article last year about how to call in sick. What does this have to do with languages? Well, in the article they wrote, Libby Sander, an assistant professor of organisational behaviour at Bond University on the Gold Coast, the Ugamba language region. I thought Gold Coast people spoke English, perhaps bogan English, but English nonetheless. Obviously, the ABC is referring to the historical Aboriginal language region rather than the predominant language spoken today. According to the 2021 census, only 208 people speak Ugamba out of a Gold Coast population of almost 650,000. Despite this, the ABC spends taxpayer money on teaching children Ugamba on its iView platform, and kids listen. I'm not sure who these kids are going to speak to, but that's not the point of the exercise. It's a chance for the ABC to appear to be supporting Aboriginal people. Just a couple of days ago, the ABC published a piece about a preschool on the New South Wales Central Coast teaching its students the Darkinjung Aboriginal language. Darkinjung is considered revivalist, meaning it isn't fully spoken by anyone, and only a small number of second language users participate in language renewal programs. These languages are obviously taught to children, as no sane adult would voluntarily learn a language that is effectively spoken by no one and has no use in literature. I study languages myself, and the amount of time you have to put into them is enormous. You certainly want some practical use after hundreds of hours of study. It shouldn't just be a taxpayer-funded feel-good exercise. As an aside, just last week, the Building Commission of New South Wales made an announcement titled, Building Commission New South Wales launches first Construct New South Wales course in Mandarin. Building Commissioner James Sherrard stated, by translating the Supervisor Responsibilities course for Mandarin speakers, we're taking a step towards making our Construct New South Wales courses accessible to more workers. So what's he saying? People will be supervising the construction of buildings in New South Wales without speaking English? I suppose it comes as no surprise that in the ABC's Diversity and Inclusion program, they make a commitment to embed Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander languages, voices, and names within the ABC's programs so that this may become a part of the vocabulary of the nation. So basically, whether you like it or not, the taxpayer funded ABC is going to teach you Aboriginal languages. Unless, of course, you simply don't watch the ABC. Look, I'm not here to criticise anyone's language learning choices. However, when it comes to languages with no practical use, should the government really be funding them? I think most of us already know the answer to that. If people want to study dead languages in their spare time, that's entirely up to them. But should the Australian taxpayer be funding their hobbies? What's the ultimate goal here? Is the Australian government planning for the entire population to learn the 250 plus historical Aboriginal languages based on their local region? And then what? Do we speak to people only in our immediate area in that language, unable to communicate with people in other parts of the country, let alone the world? That seems like a backward step to me.